Thank you, Professor Equal. Thank you very much for your kind invitation and also kindly introducing me. So we'll talk. Let me share my screen. So is it visible clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. So everybody is requested to turn on their camera. It's a mandate from our ministry also. So kindly turn on your camera. Thank you very much. So today's talk will be on reincarnation and karma. This is concepts from Indian knowledge system IKS. We'll talk about what is reincarnation and what is karma. Based on the karma, how we reincarnate, right? We'll talk about that. With certain scientific basis also we'll talk about that. So let me go back to the slide. Okay, so what is actually re means again, right? This is taken from a Latin word actually. So reincarnation is not only it is based on the Indian knowledge system, it is also based on many Western philosophers. They have given this given some idea about the reincarnation. So re means again, in means enter into, and karna means flesh or body. That means again entering into a body. Okay, so this is the meaning of reincarnation, right? That means again re-entering into the body means when we leave the body, this body, we will enter into another body. Okay, so that means we are not this body. So how it is believable? Are we really believing it? This is a fact really. So how can we say that we are leaving this body and again re-entering another body? Actually we do every time in our day-to-day life also. We see, right, when somebody dies we say he left the body. We never say he is dead, we say he left the body. What it means that the soul is leaving the body, right? What is soul and how it is? What is soul means? Actually, in fact, we all are soul. Soul means uh, which has the symptom of consciousness. Okay, like if I'll show this mobile phone to you, right? It is a dead matter. It has no consciousness. Or any table, chair, if I'll say, it is all dead matter. It has no consciousness, I'll say, no symptom of consciousness. What we understand when I'll say a conscious being, what you understand? Can anybody answer this question? What you understand when I'll say that any being is conscious or conscious being? What is your view on this? What do you mean by, if I'll say we are all conscious being or any conscious being, what is the meaning of this?
So able to understand the things and respond.
Understand the things and respond. If I'll say trees don't respond. Trees respond, or when we call the tree, is it responding to us?
Mm, not,
Not responding.
but in other way, when we pour a water and
Yes,
give a
it
manure,
grows, right? It
it grows,
grows.
right. So
Yes,
it give response in other way.
other ways, not like us. Therefore, the level of consciousness is different. That means the level of consciousness of a human being is greater than the level of consciousness of animals, and the level of consciousness of animals are greater than the level of consciousness in tree. Trees have also consciousness, they are also conscious being, but they will not respond as animals or birds or human being. Right? And also animals cannot respond like the human being can respond to any circumstances. Right? So therefore the consciousness, what we say, it is the symptom of the presence of the soul. That means any being or anybody which is having the uh, having soul, okay, so we'll say that it is a conscious being, right? So as you can see here, as a person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones, similarly the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless one. This is from Bhagavad Gita, text number 2.22. So like we have these garments we put on, right? As soon as it becomes old, we throw it away. But again we put on new garment, right? Because it is old. Similarly, it happens to all of us that when our body becomes deteriorated, this body has to be changed and we take on a new body. But when we take a new body or when we enter into another body, it is not as per our as per our desire. We cannot get. It depends on our karma, past karma, what we did in past. Based on that, because when we are habituated with our karma, that actually creates a consciousness in us, and based on that consciousness we get another type of body. Okay. So for many centuries, great thinkers and scientists from the whole world have been trying to fathom the phenomenon of life after death and the mysteries of remembrance of previous lives. This is a mystery for everyone, all of us, because we sometimes we don't believe there is a life after death also. It's very difficult to believe, very difficult to assimilate, right? Sometimes we unable to assimilate it that there is a life after death. Sometimes we don't believe it. But many philosophers, many leaders, they have given this, that yes, it happens. And also many scientists also, they have given their views. Even there are many books also written on this scientifically. I'll show you some of the researchers and scientists how they have done the research on this reincarnation. Okay, we'll see it. So there are famous persons who were aware of the laws of reincarnation. Jesus Christ, Flavius Josephus, Jewish historian from Jesus' time, Origen, a church father from 2nd century, Socrates, Jalal Rumi, right, Islamic poet from 13th century, Paul Gun, many are there, right? So and also some of the scientists are there, some of the leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, H.D. Thoreau, then Albert Einstein is there, right? J.W. Goethe, Leo Tolstoy also, right? Benjamin Franklin, many scientists. They finally the great musician George Harrison also. So there are many. They actually they are aware that the laws of reincarnation is existing, and they have given many views, many opinions, many books also they have written on this, right? Jesus Christ in the Gnostic Gospel, uh, uh, he says that the souls in this world transmigrate from one body to another body, right? So he gives this theory because it is 100% true that we transmigrate from one body to another body, right? So due to political aspirations at the infamous council in Nikaya in the year 325, early Christian texts about the reincarnation and vegetarian diet were ruled out of the Bible, right? For centuries, the leading world religions have not taken the laws of reincarnation seriously enough. Okay, for past few centuries, we see that the leaders in throughout the world, they have not taken it seriously, but it is a fact. But nowadays, people are taking it very seriously, and they're doing the research work on this also. Right? In the year 1600, prosecutors of the Inquisition tortured and burned the Dominican priest and philosopher Giordano Bruno. Right? He was proclaimed a traitor and a heathen because he preached about the life after death. So there are many leaders we have seen, they are crucified, they are tortured when they express the truth before the public, right? So why it happened? Because people unable to accept it, because they sometimes feel fearful about it, that if it will happen, then if everybody will accept this, then there will be a problem in the society, right? So therefore, because they wanted to maintain their supremacy, and they always tried to crucify, tried to torture the people who teach this process, right? So therefore, reincarnation is an expression of God's mercy. God is not so brutal as to throw sinners into eternal suffering in the hell. Okay, so it's a mercy of expression of mercy of God, right? Why? Because we know that reincarnation, through reincarnation, one may get a very beautiful body. Sometime one may not get, sometime one may get very ugly body also. Sometime we get into animal's body also. But this actually, this is the expression of God's mercy. God gives us a chance to become very beautiful, to become very gentle, right? So on the contrary, he is so merciful that he offers new chances for the redemption from accumulated sins even to the most sinful. So God is very merciful. He offers chance after chance to make ourselves and to get a new body and to be free from our sinful activities, right? So along with making great progress in psychology and science in general, in modern times there have been many scientists who by their scientific research have proven the continuation of life after the demise of the material body. There are many progresses happening in the psychology also, and in modern time there are many research in medical research also proved this that there is a continuation of life after death also. Because simply if you'll see our body deteriorates, and finally and this body actually vanishes, right? That cycle of births and deaths is known in the language of ancient Vedas as samsara. Okay, samsara from the time immemorial. It is depicted by the symbol of time wheel. So samsara means it is the place where the birth and death takes place. Okay, so birth means when we take birth, when the soul actually takes shelter of the semina of the father, and the father injects the semina into the mother's womb, and we get into the mother's womb, and when the father's semina mixed with the mother's egg, we form one cell, right? The cell is like a pea structure, okay, and gradually that cell grows. How the soul grows? If we say that there is no soul, then there will be no growth also, because as I told that without consciousness there will be no response, there will be no growth also, right? Because you see, if I'll show you this mobile phone, it cannot grow because it is not conscious being. Only conscious being can grow Okay, so therefore one small cell inside the mother's womb, how it grows, right? It's a it's a phenomenal thing. We should try to understand this, right? Because the matter cannot grow itself. It's not possible at all, right? The matter, if we'll keep a matter cannot grow. But a single cell in the mother's womb, how it grows? Eh? Because there is a soul or there is consciousness in that. So that conscious being, because of that consciousness, the cell grows into various cells, hair cell, bone cells, right? Then your tissue cells, various types of cells, and gradually, uh, the hands comes out, nose comes out, eyes comes out, right? Then the full consciousness comes to the child when he becomes 3 months in the mother's womb, right? After that, in 7 months, it becomes quite conscious, and it vibrates inside the mother's womb. It was really painful to the soul who is inside the mother's womb. It was really, really painful, because in a sack, inside a sack, nothing is there, a darkness, and various types of insects are biting him, right? So it was very painful condition, but still we pass through that painful condition, and again from mother's womb we come out, right? And gradually our body grows and grows, right? Again, then finally, when this body deteriorates gradually, because it's a matter, this body is matter, and it deteriorates, it has to deteriorate. Anything in this world will be, any manifestation we see in this world will be gradually deteriorating. It will deteriorate, and finally it will be vanished, right? But the conscious being, the consciousness cannot vanish or cannot perish, right? We must understand this. So therefore this is called samsara. So there are few scientists who are doing actually research on this reincarnation. One is Dr. Ian Stevenson, US. He has a very beautiful book he has written on reincarnation. You can search his works, research works, in the web pages, websites also. Though he is not an Indian, he is an American scientist, American psychiatrist, but he could able to find that there is reincarnation happening. Okay, and he did a lot of research, and he has many case studies also, you can see in his books. Please note it down if possible. You can search his books. Ian Stevenson, just write, and you'll find some of his works in Wikipedia also, right? And Dr. Brian L. Weiss, USA, is a hypnotherapist and a psychiatrist, author of various books about documented examples of proof of reincarnation, right? Various books also has written. Then Tom Schroeder, US, author of 3 books. The most prominent is Old Souls, right? Okay. And similarly, Dr. Michael Newton is from US also. He is a hypnotherapist and author of 4 books, right? So there are many researchers, scientists, they are also working on this reincarnation. And also there are many case studies, examples they have given, and this case studies they have personally worked out on it, right? Do you think you are the body you see in the mirror? Are we really the body, or we are something else? So this is a big question for us, right? Because this body will perish one day, and we never want to die. Okay, in fact we don't die. The soul never dies, or the conscious being never dies. It remains forever, but only the body perishes, right? So in the oldest sacred books in the world, the Vedas, which originate from God himself, Krishna, it is written that what we identify with is nothing but a blend of subtle and gross material bodies, right? So what we identify ourselves, My identity, if I'll give, I'll give my identity as Professor Sanjay Kumar Parida, right? So this is my bodily identification. This is not my own identification, right? So this body perishes, and Professor Sanjay Kumar Parida also perishes along with that, right? Because it is it is the body only with which we identify ourselves, and this is the major cause of our anxiety. Major cause of our anxiety, major cause of our stress is this, that we identify ourselves with this body, right? So therefore our identity is, we are actually misidentifying ourselves. We are not this body, we are inside the body, we are encased in this body, right? Therefore in Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned many places. In one place also it is mentioned, right? Dehi no asmin yatha dehe, matlab is this body, inside this body there is dehi means who is inside the body, right? So we are inside this body, we are encased in this body, but we are not actually in this body, right? So therefore we have two types of body. One is gross body, which we in fact see, that is called gross body, right? Which we cannot see, that is called the subtle body. So there are various elements based on that our gross body is made up of, and also inside the gross body we have a subtle body which is consisting of three elements: mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay, so this subtle body, or we call it astral body also, right? This is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So mind, intelligence, and false ego, these are subtle elements, we cannot see these elements also, right? So now if I'll ask you, what is the difference between mind and brain, what will be your answer? Mind and brain, if I'll ask you, what is the difference between mind and brain? Can anybody answer? I think everybody stopped their camera, so please keep it on. Your camera might be on, I'll see you. Yes. So what is the difference between mind and brain? Any difference? कोई डिफरेंस है माइंड एंड ब्रेन में? Mind is consciousness. Somebody wrote Ramdev Gill. Then brain is
So, which controls our body functions?
yes, very good answer. Which controls her bodily functions. Okay, then brain. Brain also a processing unit, right? Brain is physical part of our body. Mind is not physical part. Brain is
The
physical.
mind is something which have their understanding by their experience, by their exposure, feelings, expressions.
And brain?
Brain is like a one of the body unit which perform a function in regulate all our body function properly.
So mind also functioning our body, right?
Very
Brain.
thin line of difference between them.
What is the difference?
Mind is like building your own perception.
In
Uh,
medical science, we have two divisions, right?
right.
The doctors for mind, we call them doctors for mind. We call them what?
I think mind is related to memory,
No. Oh,
memory and like the perception
yes, yes. Uh,
and
experience, right?
yes, experience is
And
what it is.
brain.
brain is something which related to like feelings and emotions,
Same thing, right? Experience
or maybe
actually
It's
it's a
one.
inside part, I think.
is part of body, yes, correct. And mind
Okay.
is also part of the body. Very good. Anirudh Sharma has given correct answer. He has written, Anirudh Sharma written, mind is like software and brain is like hardware. Very good. Like we have software engineers, hardware engineers, right? So, and in medical science also we have psychiatrists and neurologists, right? Psychiatrists actually they take care of the mind related problems, and neurologists they take care of the mind related brain related problems. They are neurologists. So therefore, like in our engineering also we do software engineering and hardware engineering. Software engineering is like they will look after the only software part, right? And hardware engineering means they will look after the hardwares. So our brain is like hardware. Aniruddha Sharma is correct. Very good. So therefore, this brain is like hardware and mind is software. And without software, the brain is useless. You know, without mind, the brain is useless. Like without software, the computer is also useless. The computer cannot function without the software. Similarly, the software has no value without hardware also.
So, sir, that means mind is a software. That means that do the process.
Yes, software is
So,
required to.
whatever we receive, that encoding done by the.
Everything is processed by mind.
Okay.
But to process, we need some hardware, and that hardware facility is given by the brain. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So, therefore, mind functions only when the brain is there. Without brain, the mind cannot function also. And similarly, the brain functions only mind is there. If the mind is there, then only the brain functions, right? So therefore, this mind is mind intelligence. Intelligence is a little superior to mind because intelligence is also a subtle element. It is a little superior to mind. It controls the mind. Like we take some decision. Suppose my desire is to eat rasgulla. Okay. So then what will I have to take a decision. So the decision will be taken by the intelligence. Okay. Suppose I am suffering from diabetic, I have to take a decision whether I will take rasgulla or not. So that decision will be taken by the intelligence. Okay. So therefore, intelligence is more subtler than the mind. Mind is subtle element. It's a software. Like our software in computer, we see it is subtle element. We cannot touch. We cannot feel it. But only we can see it. We can feel it through the hardware. Similarly, through brain, we can feel our mind, and superior to mind is the another thing is this intelligence. Intelligence takes the decision, and mind is the storehouse of all experience. Okay, when I'll suppose I'll show you a rasgulla. If you don't have any experience, previous experience, you cannot recognize it as rasgulla. It's not possible. Okay, anything I show you, anything you see around us, so those things will be we give a name and we have the experience about it. It's all stored in our mind, and it goes also with us when we change the gross body. When our gross body is changed, therefore we have seen when the children when a baby actually comes out of the mother's womb, immediately he want to be fed. So immediately he want to take milk from the mother's breast immediately, because he is habituated with eating. He habituated with taking milk right from mother's womb. Life after life he has done this. So he has that experience. Immediately he will take care, and the mother also takes care immediately. If she feeds him, right? So immediately he started sucking the breast and milk also, right? So why it happens? Because it is the previous experience. He had no experience of eating previously. As soon as he
So,
take
can I
birth.
ask a question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, that means the first layer is a brain. Anything when first received by the brain, then evaluated by the mind, and then decision taken by the intelligence.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So mind, like brain is our hardware, so mind is above that, and intelligence is above that. Okay. So mainly the experience is stored in the mind. Anything we see, anything we around us, if we are feeling about some feeling is about that, that means the experience is previously we have. Okay, previously we have that experience. So like this subtle body works actually, and we have three elements in the subtle body: mind, intelligence, and false ego. And this false ego is also more subtler, because we identify with because of this false ego we identify ourselves with this body, right? With various designations, with various things we identify ourselves, right? So now the functions of the mind is this, right? Like the functions of mind is thinking, then feeling, then willing, right? Okay. So thinking means the thoughts comes to our mind, and if we have previous experience, based on that experience we feel something, then after feeling we will means we desire to have it. Like the example I gave, if I show you a rasgulla, if we have the previous experience of sweetness of rasgulla, then that experience will make us feel that yes, rasgulla is so tasty, so sweet, right? Then I will desire to have it, to enjoy the rasgulla. Right, so this is the process carried out by the mind all the time. Okay, every time, whatever object we see around us, or whatever object we hear, because through our sensory organs, through our knowledge acquiring senses, we receive various perceptions from around us, from around the world, right? If else, so anything we see, we have a perception, we have a previous experience about it, and based on that experience, when we think about it, we have a feeling, we have a previous experience. Because of the previous experience we have a feeling about that object, and then after that we will to enjoy that object, or we desire to enjoy that object, right? based on our based on our past experience. Okay, so this is all about. So therefore these are the main functions of the mind. So the functions of the intelligence is that resourcefulness in new situations, right? When any new situation arises, it takes decision, distinguishing between good and bad, control of the senses. Okay, control of the senses, whether I should take it, whether I should not take it, right? Whether I should enjoy it or whether I should reject it. So these are the functions of the intelligence, right? So therefore intelligence is more superior than mind. Then false ego. False ego actually forces us to think that the gross material or subtle body is our real identity. Okay, so this is false ego. Therefore we identify ourselves with this body, and therefore the anxiety is, we are always remain in anxiety because of this, right? False ego is the most subtle material element. Due to the false ego, we think of ourselves in terms of illusory identifications, various illusory identifications. We think ourselves of this, that, right? Various conditions we actually. So like this we can see, right? Such as body types, gender, race, nationality, religion, profession, etc. Various way we actually identify ourselves, right? This is because of our false ego. Forgetfulness of our eternal spiritual nature and identification with illusory identities is known in the language of the Vedas as Maya, which is not existing, right? So therefore our spiritual nature is something different, and we have never searched for it, we have never identified it. and we're identifying ourselves with the illusory identities, and therefore this is known as Maya in the language of Veda. Okay, it is the language of Veda. In fact, it is called Maya, and the meaning of it is which is not existing, which is not there. So everything we can see in this world, in this animated world, right, what we see is actually the creation of Maya, right, which is actually there, but in fact it has to be annihilated. It is temporary existence, right? This is a case study on near death experience, right? So it was given by Ian Stevenson. He has done this case study also. The subtle body sometimes get out of the gross body. For example, at the time of a car accident, a trauma during the surgical operation, under the influence of narcotics, etc. So during this we call it clinical death also. During operation surgery, we give the this narcotic, what do you call it? So based on that, when somebody was senseless and the doctors were doing surgical operation on a patient, sometimes it is found that the patient actually identifies that who is doing what, and who has kept the knife in the hand, who has cutting the body, everything he can note down. And after the operation is finished, when he comes back to consciousness, he says everything in detail. But at that time he was unconscious, he was not aware of anything. But as soon as the consciousness comes, he can identify the doctor who was actually doing the surgery, and he can identify the doctor who was putting the hold of the knife, who was putting hold of the seizure, right? Everything he can remember. And sometimes also it happens during accidents also, and sometimes this astral projection existing the body during the deep sleep, or conscious existing in the wakeful state also. Right, during deep sleep also it happens, right? So in deep sleep, when we are dreaming, right, at that time also our with our subtle body, the soul comes out, and it has a different experience, right? There is a vast number of documented cases of people who could remember in great detail some of their previous incarnations, previous lives, speak the language from the past life, or master some skills they had learned long ago in some previous life. We have seen many people have a good skill of music, good skill of writing, good skill of various things. So how they got this experience? As soon as we see, we have many children, we see inborn they are very good musician. When they will take birth, they will play very nicely the harmoniums. They can. This quality is actually imbibed from their past lives. They remember those qualities, and it was because of the past experience in their previous life. They are certainly in some fields they do very good, right? The spiritual soul, our real identity, is our soul, which is covered by two bodies, which is known as subtle body, and the subtle, along with the subtle body, we transmigrate into another material body at the time of death. Okay, so during the death, what happens? The soul, along with the subtle body, with the previous experience, because subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So the soul is covered with that, and it goes out of the body and it enters into another body, right? It enters into another body means it was actually it takes shelter of the semina of the father of any male, we can say male animal or male person, right? Then it goes to the mother's home, right? Through that. If we are not the subtle body, is there any point in identifying with the gross material body? There is no point of identity, because this body changes, right? We can see here the body actually becomes old, which is subjected to various diseases, old age and death. Okay, so as we can see here, this is happens, right? The body has its beginning from here with a single cell. You can see here this single cell in the mother's womb, right? And it gradually grows. This is the structure for during the 3-month period. Okay, various cells developed are from a single cell. Various cells develops. The bone cell, the hair cell, everything develops gradually, right? Then it starts growing up. This is the 7-month structure. You can see here, right? 6-7 month structure. So everything then grows gradually, and it's frequently unpredicted end. So the end is unpredicted. It's very difficult to understand, right? It is made up of fragile and perishable materials, as you can see, right? These are all fragile, perishable bones, and also you can say the flesh. Everything is perishable. Nothing is permanent. Right? So then it is subjected to endless diseases also. Various diseases also happens in this world. And the beauty of the body is only skin deep, right? If we'll remove this skin, the beauty of body is vanished. Nothing is there. It's only made up of flesh and bone, nothing else, right? So therefore the beauty of body is only skin deep, we can say. If we'll remove the skin, everything is finished, right? And yet most people think that the body is meant exclusively for enjoyment. Many of us, we think that, and that is the cause of our suffering. Okay, so therefore most of us, we think this body is made for our enjoyment, but in fact it is not true, right? So thus they are too concerned about the body and disregard their real identity. We therefore real identity we disregard, and we always were worried about our bodily beauty, bodily structure, bodily this, that, right? Skin care only, because skin is the only beauty, right? If the skin is not there, nothing is there, right? So it is just like a polishing a bird cage without feeding the bird. Right? Like if we have a bird in our home inside a cage, right? And if we'll not feed the bird, only will polish the cage, the bird will die after some time. Then what happens? The cage is useless, and same thing happens to us. So inside the body we are encased, the soul is encased inside the body, but we are not taking care of the soul at all, but we are always taking care of the body, like the taking care of cage. So what happens when the soul leaves this body? Becomes useless, like the cage becomes useless when the bird dies, right? So therefore we also have to feed the soul also. Okay? So in this allegory the cage represents the body and the bird represents the soul. Okay. So therefore we have to take care of both ourselves, both the soul and the body, the cage, right? So therefore the Vedas inform us that there are 84 lakh species of living being in the universe. 84 lakh species of living. Out of that 4 lakh species of human being are there, right? And other species are there, but human being is only 4 lakh species, right? And there are other species also. And these 84 lakh species, in fact, these are only some of them, whatever shown in this screen. But there are many others, which we have never seen also, many of the species. Very small species, virus, there are many bacteria, many small viruses are there. So if we are neither subtle nor gross material body, who are we in the first place, right? This is a big question, right? So somebody has written the answer, of course, here, right? I have seen that somebody written, Abhishek Sharma, a soul never dies, it takes a new body. Population of the world is increasing, so number of souls are increasing. Where does the new soul? Oh, this is a question. Very good. Abhishek ji has answered question. There is a big question. A soul never dies, it takes a new body. Population of the world is increasing, so number of souls are increasing. Where does the new souls comes from? And there are many species, I told, right? 84 lakh species are there. There are many trees, many bacteria, many small insects, right? So from those actually they come, they after evolution they come back to the human body. After evolution means after they leave their body, they actually change their body gradually, and gradually they get the human body. So therefore human population is growing, and we are killing the all animals and birds. We are destroying the natural nature, right? So what will happen then, right? Therefore natural disaster comes to us, and the human population is also increasing gradually. Actually it is not, we cannot say it is increasing human population. Human population is not a problem, but actually because of the natural disasters, the problem we create by breaking the laws of nature is actually the main cause, main problem. Okay. Therefore, so various types of uh, various types of living, and from various types of living entities, where actually human being is also created, right? Okay. I hope Abhishek ji your answer is, your question is answered, right? So the spiritual soul located in the heart is an atomic size. This is actually located in our heart, and it is atomic size. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. This is from Bhagavad Gita 2.20, right? So Abhishek's question is very valid, right? And therefore the human population is increasing gradually. The symptom of presence of the soul is consciousness, which animates the body and gives it life, right? So therefore this is the symptom of the presence of soul. Anything, anybody, any material matter where the soul is not present, it cannot be a conscious being, right? And his body will never be growing. No matter can grow without the soul, without the consciousness, right? So without the soul the body is nothing but a lump of lifeless chemicals. Okay, so this is what, if there is no soul inside our body has no value. Even our family members also throw it, right? And so-called wife also quickly disposes the body of husband if the soul is not present, right? So therefore the soul is more valuable than this body. Okay, without the soul this body has no value. It will be thrown, it will be burnt, it will be buried, right? Nobody wants to keep a body without the soul, right? As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youthhood to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at the death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such changes. This is from Bhagavad Gita, right? So it gradually changes. Our body is continuously changing. Every moment, every second it is changing, right? And it continuously changes from childhood to boyhood, boyhood to youthhood, from youthhood to old age. And after old age, what happens though? When the body is deteriorated, it will completely deteriorate, means that is called death. And then the soul transmigrates from one body to another body. And this is actually those souls who are self-realized, they never bewildered by such changes. They change, which is actually final change, we call it transmigration, through which we are never bewildered, right? The self-realized souls. As you can see here, there is certainly evolution taking place, right? So therefore human population is also increasing, right? From various species of life the evolution is taking place, and the soul which is previously in animal life is getting a human body in the next life, right? So by a certain law the soul transmigrates from one type of body into another. There are certain laws, Because of that, this body actually transmigrates from one body to another, and that law is known as karma. Okay. So karma is nothing but it is the law of transmigrating from one body to another body. This is called law of action and reaction. So what action we take in this life, based on that we get another type of body. So law of action and reaction. So every action has equal and opposite reaction also, right? So example 1, according to the infallible law of karma, infallible means the law which is not changeable at all, infallible, right? So according to the infallible law of karma, those who kill and eat animals have to take an animal body in the next life in order to get through the same experience, right? Example 2, those who are pious and do good things, do other living beings, are rewarded by various conveniences in the next life. Example 3, good and bad karma constantly intertwine, right? So good karma gives good result, that means good, and bad karma gives us the bad result. Because of that we get different types of body to suffer or to enjoy, right? So it is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, immutable and unchangeable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Okay, we should not grieve for the body. The body is merely a vehicle for the soul which moves the body just as the driver moves a car. According to our karma, we drive a good car or a bad car. And so जिसके पास पैसा है, according to his karma, somebody rides the Mercedes, somebody rides the Maruti 800, right? So based on our karma, we also get various types of body. Somebody we took birth in a family of a beggar. Sometime we take birth in a family of a good businessman, right? Having very wealthy person. So why it happens? It is based on our how we good driver we are, right? How we are doing based on our karma, based on our action, we get the result. So if we'll do good action, we'll have a good result. And in order to get that result, we have to go into different types of bodies, right? So therefore karma and reincarnation, they are very much interlinked together. Okay, so according to the karma, what happens when the soul leaves the body? Right before or at the time of death, people see the movie of life. Because why it happens? Because what action we have done throughout our life, those things will come before us in our consciousness when we are dying. Okay, and based on that consciousness we get another body. Okay, so therefore it happens that so based on our karma we get the next life to enjoy or to suffer because of our past karmas, right? So this is quite interlinked. So the light at the end of the tunnel finished, right? And some subtle beings, and according to the activities during life, at the time of death, some people meet angelic beings and some meet monstrous ones, right? So why do we have to constantly change bodies? It is due to universal law of karma, which forces us to enjoy or suffer the outcomes of our activities, good or bad, right? So this is the law. This is also known as this law is also known as you sow, so shall you reap. Okay, every action has equal and opposite reaction. Newton has given this second law of motion, right? Everybody has studied in school. This action and reaction we have to go through, because what action we do, what action we take, based on that we take the reaction also, right? Like the same law here, as you sow, if I will sow the paddy seeds, I will get the paddy, right? I will reap out with the paddy. But if I will sow the wheat seed, I will get the wheat. Right? The same thing happens to us. What karma will do, accordingly we have to enjoy or suffer, and to enjoy the suffer, the platform is the body. So therefore we take different types of body to enjoy or suffer. Okay, so that is the only point, right? So therefore many sinful activities are a main reason for suffering, and these may be categorized into 4 groups, as you know, right? So there are 4 groups of sinful activities: eating meat, fish, eggs, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and cheating, right? So in spite of numerous indisputable proofs of life after death, many people don't believe in reincarnation. They are guided by slogan, I believe only those things I can perceive by my senses. Okay, so there are many people. Previously also I gave a lecture on this, how to acquire knowledge. So what knowledge we acquire through our senses, it is very blunt, it is not very clear, it is not perfect, because our senses are not perfect itself. Our senses are imperfect. So how can I believe my senses, right? So therefore people say, no, what I see, what I observe, what I want to enjoy just like that. And what I see, this is perfect, this is fine, right? But it is not the truth, right? So therefore there are numerous proofs, indisputable proofs are there that life after death is there. Still many people don't believe this incarnation. The researches have happened. There are many researches I have shown you previously also, right? And which was actually uh, in fact it is true, right? And it cannot, and in fact which is the teachings of our Vedas, Vedic knowledge system, Indian knowledge system, right? Okay, so thank you very much. So we should stop. If we can take some questions. Abhishek Sharma answers question. So number of souls is constant. Number of souls is constant for the this time period. When this time period changes, the number of souls may change also. Like I can say that as per the Vedic knowledge system or Indian knowledge system, that every day of Brahmaji is the supreme creator in this world, right? So after every day of Brahma, every day means one day of Brahma is like it's around 1000 yuga cycle. So one yuga cycle is like 43 lakh years. Okay, so you cannot calculate the time duration of one day of Brahma, and after one day of Brahma, one annihilation takes place. Okay, so after that annihilation, the souls may change, the number of souls may change, but during that period, this period, the number of souls remains same, right? So another question, is there any book you can suggest to know more about life and death? As I told, various books by our researchers, Jan Stevenson and many other researchers have written few books also. And the better is, if you want to study from our Vedic knowledge system, Indian knowledge system, you just go through Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, these are the best books where you'll get everything about life and death, how we should work, how we should act, what is the purpose of life, everything is mentioned there. Okay, thank you very much. Any other question?